Hi, Andrew. Well, thank you very much for joining us. It'll be really useful for other customers to that you share your experience. Can you tell us a little bit about your project?
Well, we had initially, we've got this extension here, which we've had on the house for 20 odd years. About 5 years ago, we decided that we wanted to split the extension so that it wasn't between the back room and the kitchen. So we took out the middle partition and we put in the lantern light that you can see above us, and we've got some wide doors to the back of us. Um, when we did that, it was about 3 or 4 years ago, and we'd left the lantern light without any coverings there. So we experienced over a time the sun coming in, and because of the pandemic, we realized during the hot summers it was just too bright for us in this back area, particularly in the back room in the afternoons. So we tried other options, trying to put things over the top of the lantern light in the summer to try and stop the light coming in or to stop the heat getting in, but it just wasn't working. So we just wanted to get something different in here to stop the light getting in, because it was just getting too hot for us. It was like a greenhouse in the summer. So we went out looking at different products. I looked on the internet at different companies that could do similar types of thing, but we decided that WindowTreat was the type of thing that we wanted. I looked at price and products and looked at various people, seeing whether they could deliver on time and things like that. And I then made inquiries to your company. Um, then, after following up with emails, I did a conference call Zoom meeting with Chris, and he was very helpful. He went through all the various products, the different sizes of blinds, the size of our opening, etc. And we came back to this one here. So that was back in April of 2022, and we wanted to redecorate the kitchen as well. So we discussed with him about whether we do the decoration before or after, and we came to the conclusion that we should decorate it before we put the blinds in. So we had quite a long lead time between when we had that conversation and when we were going to put the product in, and we had to sort out the electrics for the product to make sure it was working properly in our space. Um, we also found that when we were looking at the products, we'd seen other products which didn't have the material which we wanted as well. So we also asked for samples, which Chris sent over to us, 2 or 3 different samples, because we realised that on Chris's advice, some samples or some materials that you could use wouldn't stop the light getting in, and might have just been too flimsy for what we were looking for. So that was it. Um, we've now had the product in for, I suppose, 6 or 8 weeks now, and we've had quite a cold spell, and we've realised that actually not just the summer months where we're getting the light in, the product is actually keeping the heat in as well. So it's working both ways. On a nice sunny day, it stops the light coming in, but on the cold mornings when it's been really frosty and that outside, it stopped the heat being lost from the room as well. So it works in both ways. But,
Well, no, thank you, and well, I'm glad it's working. I'm delighted, in fact, because that's the whole purpose of the electric roof lantern blind. And how did you? What was your experience with getting it installed?
the installation was very simple. Martin came round, measured up, made sure that all of the dimensions were correct, made sure that it was truly square, because he told us that sometimes when these lantern lights are put in, sometimes they're not quite square, but ours was fine, no problems at all on that. He only took a short while to do it, came in with his ladders. He and another chap, I think his son, came in, measured it all up, and then went away. And within a few weeks of the order, it came back. He came back and installed it. It took not that long, maybe a morning, to sort it all out, screw it all in, wire it up to the electrics, and it's worked fine.
Fantastic. And I've got one last question for you, Andrew. The $1,000,000 question. Would you recommend WindowTreat to friends and family?
Yes, I would. Yeah, it's been a good experience from start to finish. Chris was very good on his knowledge of the product. Martin was very good on coming out and looking at the space and making sure it was the right dimensions. And the installation was easy and clean. No problems at all.
Well, thank you. That's music to my ears, Andrew.
Okay, you're very welcome.